What's up guys, Charis here, and I just wanted to record a quick video for you. I was just grocery shopping and I had to do a big haul today, and you know, today is Sunday, so everyone does their big hauls. Well, I'm sure not everyone, but it feels like that when you're in the crammed out store. And I've mentioned it before in a couple interviews and things about way before I even had my spiritual awakening, and this is how I think a lot of people start understanding that they're empaths, is by being around groups of people and then feeling totally drained. And shopping, for some reason for me, when I'm around a lot of people shopping, it tends to be when I have the most empathic sludge, I guess, on me. And I think that it's because of the mental space that a lot of people are in when they're shopping. I think that they end up being not manic exactly, but kind of worried about stuff, and their minds are trying to keep everything straight, and they're trying to get in and get out, and so it's a very linear, kind of fear-based, not intense fight or flight survival fear, but not wanting to forget anything, needing to remember things, a kind of slightly worried flavor to their emotional field, and their minds are really, really going. At least that's what I'm pretty sure it is, because today I noticed myself accumulating all this gunk and feeling really drained at the grocery store, and I caught it. And so that's the title of this video, is My Chi is for Me, Clearing Emotional Sludge, because that's kind of what it's like for those of you empaths who feel a great call to help others. You often absorb other people's gunk, thinking that, on some subconscious or unconscious level, thinking that by you absorbing this emotional gunk, you're actually helping them, which is not true. At least it's not true permanently. Sometimes you'll get in a feedback loop like that with someone else, and they'll expect you to clear them, and then they accumulate a bunch of more junk and then expect you to clear it, and on, and you just feel like poo, and they always feel amazing after hanging out with you. But generally it's done unconsciously all the way around. So, and even that scenario is still pretty unconscious, but that's a more easy to see version of it. So this is what worked for me today in the grocery store line. And I technically have known this, but I got to really practice it today, and it's fresh, so I'll go ahead and tell you now. But what happened was, I was standing there, and I had, you know, gotten everything on my list. I had to go back and forth across the store a couple times, and I do most of my shopping at Trader Joe's and Whole Foods, and this was Trader Joe's, thank goodness, because had I had to go back and forth across Whole Foods, I think I would have been a lot more exhausted. And without thinking about it, I think I was serving as kind of a scrub brush for all of the emotional and psychic kind of dust that was everywhere from so many people being in that mind space that I described. And so I had picked it all up and absorbed it. And especially doing the work that I do, the way that I'm able to even do readings is by seeing into people's field and feeling what they feel, and then being able to describe it to them and also follow it through to its best possible conclusion and equilibrium. So I'm pretty open to that stuff. And today I didn't really think about it. I just ran to the grocery store and was not rushed myself, but I didn't want to hang out in there all day. So, you know, I'm very linear and not really thinking about my spiritual body so much. And then I got in line, and I was just feeling like very stressed and really scattered, and couldn't really focus, and just felt like I wanted to get out of there, and I just wanted to, you know, kind of do one of these. And of course I wouldn't, because that's crazy in the middle of a lot of people, and it wouldn't help anyway. But that's kind of what I felt like, and I'm sure you guys know exactly what I'm talking about when you just want to protect yourself and you don't really know why. And so, first of all, noticing that is the first thing, because usually you'll just act from it, and then you might snap at people, or you might need to go sleep for a long time, or you might just need to shut yourself off from others for a couple hours in order to regain your own balance. But you don't necessarily have to do those things. It's okay if you do, but it's not a necessary thing. You can also do this other little trick that I learned. So the first thing that I did was notice that I was feeling off, very off. And then, of course, as soon as I noticed, I was like, oh yeah, well, duh. You know, this is always the thing that gets me ever since I can remember, is being around lots of people shopping for some reason, which is why I don't really go shopping. Which is also why, if you're on my Facebook, you probably see that I post all the cool stuff online that I find to buy, because I don't love shopping, especially when it's a ton of people there, for that reason. I mean, I can armor up and go, but it's easier for me just not to. So anyway, first realize that it's happening, and then it's super easy actually, but what I did was started really deep breathing, because also as a result of the emotional stuff I had been breathing pretty shallowly and even like haltingly and not in much of a rhythm, but really focused on my lungs expanding and contracting, and did that for just maybe 30 seconds or so, and automatically I started to feel better, but not completely, because what happens energetically in times like this, and this is old paradigm, new paradigm stuff, and in the old paradigm, like I've described in other videos about being an empath, we shared all of our energy, and we kind of, we being the race of humans, you know, we stole each other's energy and gave each other our energy, and it was this network of pushing and pulling and taking and giving, and it's just a different version of what we're now being reborn into. So what I would do, and what I know a lot of you empaths would do, would be to, when I was around someone else, automatically, without thinking about it, I would loop my energy through them and then back to me. And so it would actually go through them, and as it went through them, it would clear them, or at least that would be my intention. And this is all unconscious. You know, now I can see it because I'm aware of how this stuff works, but at the time I didn't know what I was doing. And what we're graduating into is being able to maintain a closed system of energy flow, and then harmonizing with each other rather than actually looping through other people. And we don't lose our connection. In fact, your connection becomes greater because you're more authentically showing up, and rather than acting like the person that you're with, because you just looped your energy through them, you can act more like yourself and be really present with the person that you're with and actually commune with them in a way that, if you're in this codependent, which is a whole other subject that I have been thinking about and that I will post a video on, because lots of star-seeded people and empaths have real problems with codependency. I think I know why. Anyway, rather than a codependent like lock, you can just have a very gentle meeting of energies. So after I had made my breath deep and even, I started to notice that I was actually in training, like not in training, but en training, with all these people in the store, like random people who I would make eye contact with and then I would have linked up with. And it's like, wait a second, that's not helping anyone. It's making me exhausted. I doubt they feel much better as a result. So what is it that's better to do here? And kind of pull my own lines back in. And this is all just visualization stuff. But as you are able to feel energy lines, you can actually feel it happening too. And you feel yourself more whole and have more energy and more even physical strength. Things feel lighter. You walk straighter with no striving to do so, things like that. And so then once I had looped my energy back into my own field and my breath was even, I noticed my emotional state go down, and it's like everything came into sharper focus. It was as if someone turned on the high def switch on the world around me, because all of a sudden I was present again. I wasn't looping myself through 10 people who I didn't even know. I was there in the store, you know, present, but I could also access my joy. Whereas before, my joy had been totally cut off. And my bliss, I was like, what bliss? There's nothing. I just got to get out of the store. So, yeah, when you find yourself in a situation like that, first notice, then deepen your breath, and then imagine that all of your lines come back into yourself, and then find your joy place. And if you practice that, it probably won't be very difficult, because if you realize that by you not in training with them, by you just being where you are, and then holding your own harmony and your own harmonic chord, then you're actually helping everyone around you much more than if you were trying to loop through them and jerk their energy up by using your own net of life force. I hope that that makes sense. It makes sense in my brain. But yeah, I think that you'll understand what I'm talking about. Anyway, yeah, if you have any questions, let me know. It's a concept that's not totally new, but I understood it to a new level today, and I wanted to share it with you guys. And like I said, you do more help for others if you don't devote your life force energy to their, you know, IV. You know, it's much better if you sing your own song. So on that note, go in peace. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend. It's been a very lazy one for me. Yesterday was a total laze out day. I don't know if that was true for you guys, but I didn't do anything. I ate tons of junk food all day, and I don't have the urge to do that but once every few months, and so when I do, I totally go with it. I had a tummy ache, but it was worth it, and today I'm back to normal. Anyway, I will talk to you soon. Oh, my online course is still open for registration. I'll put the link down below. It's open till this Friday, and it will run for 6 weeks from September something to October something. It's on the page, I forget. Anyway, next Monday. I will talk to you soon. Like I said, go in peace and see you later.